stock Aquatic.
And today we're checking out the S15C.
Prototype number 4.
Number 4.
That is built in an old projector speaker case cabinet and sounds fantastic.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say yeah in agreement. I should say
no,
thank you.
Say yeah. You know it. It was enough to give you the inspiration to say, like, I'm going to do this for real.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the response from those early models of, like, going into a music shop, lasting a week and a half, and going out the door definitely fueled my drive to make Marla amps accessible to people across the globe.
Yeah. And yeah, mine's unique. It just is volume, 2 input, and it's the perfect 10 watt-ish just platform for all the pedals that make me sound the way I sound. So I tend to write songs in a bunch of different ways, but generally starting with the guitar, maybe writing music and then thinking of vocal melodies. Sometimes it's vocal melodies first and then writing music to those. But I'm just trying to always play guitar and stumble upon something new. I'm not like a trained guitarist or anything like that. Don't really know music theory. I just need something that allows me to sit and fiddle and, just gives me the time, doesn't take up too much space. I can sit on my couch, goof around, and stumble upon ideas. And it's right there. Turn it on, turn it off. Always ready to kind of be there when an idea just pops in or something like that. at a guitar shop, Heyday, I get firsthand feedback on how people respond to your amps, and yeah, it's always been positive. People are looking for something with craftsmanship, that they know somebody has taken their time. The fact that these are hand wired really means a lot to people in, an age of, um, it's good to have accessibility with things that are being built on a mass scale and things like that, and that's great. But there's something special, and the amount of effort you put into these amps, I could see that means a lot to Neil Young's tone would be with an amp on borderline about to blow up, but safe and sound with this. Yeah. I don't want to say too many things about it breaking and blowing up.
That's what overdrive is.
That's what overdrive
is your tube saying like,
If you listen to any old rock and roll records, they're making amps do things that the amps weren't really designed to do.
Yeah.
Whereas this one's designed to do that, but gives you that same quality
Yeah.
of those amps that were about to blow up. Guitars can be all over the place. It can be really telly shrill, and then when it's all the way up in the humbucker zone, on a lot of amps I've played it through, it's just too much bass.
Yeah.
But you still want it there some. So being able to just like from guitar to guitar dial in and get those kind of tones that you're looking for with this is fantastic. And I think that just goes to show, like, you can play humbuckers through it, you can play single coils through it. If your single coils feel a little light or anything like that, you can get into these darker tones. So from almost like we were getting, distorted, borderline metal quality out of it, all the way into telly country kind of tones there. So being able to do that without any pedals in it at all, I mean, that's phenomenal to be able to kind of dial your tone in like that. It got into that amp breakup territory that like early Fender Tweed stuff can kind of have, where like you're getting into, it is a distortion, but it almost sounds like the speaker is doing like this kind of weird, like borderline of almost breaking, but like in a good way, you know? And a lot of pedals try to simulate that. That really opens up some doors of being able to just have just kind of multiple tones that you can dial in pretty quickly, from radical stuff all the way to the more clean, pristine sounds. It's cool having a 10 watt and of course a 20 watt as well. The 20 watt, you could play any shows with that and be more than fine, especially if you're playing, you know, club gigs and things like that. And then for the people who need more juice, you've got the 40 watt now, and you could tour the whole world with that amp and be completely fine. Not that I've ever toured the whole world, but I can imagine it would be fine.
You toured the U.S. and that's
I've
like
toured the U.S.
that's
yes.
some people's whole world right there.
Exactly. Some people haven't left Appalachia.
Dude,
you know,
I meet those people every now and
Yeah.
then, and I'm just like, yeah, all right. Final thoughts, dude. Do you want to tell the viewers how insanely hot the shed is?
Okay, so I run hot naturally, but I'm a hot dog in here for sure. I mean, I'm sweaty. I showered. I might shower. You know, I wanted to be nice to Anthony and shower before I came here, and I might be nice to myself and shower after I leave here. It is hot, so this man is hand wiring everything in here in the brutal heat because he's dedicated to the tone and giving you guys the deal. He can't afford AC in here, okay? These amps got to stay cheaper. We introduce AC, prices are going up.
Bam.
We can't
Yeah.
do that. We got to keep
Yeah.
things at the price point they are.
You're gonna see.
And yeah, I think it adds to your tone.
It does.
It
Yeah.
does. It really
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
Yeah, worm the tubes up since birth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
as soon as they
actually
come out of
doesn't
the
even
box.
have to solder anything.
Yeah.
Everything just
melts.
melts from the heat.
Full disclosure, I'm an okay amp builder. I am a terrible workshop builder, and I should have really doubled down on the insulation.
It looks great
I'm
here.
so sorry.
Well, you'll have some cold tone in the wintertime.
Yes,
you know?
yes, I will.
People
People can get the answer like, it's running at 2 watts. Why is it so cold? Bro, yes.
It's cold tone.
Yeah, cold tone.
Creamery. Let me ask you a couple questions.
Yeah.
What made you decide, okay, we're done with the 10s, we're going to the 15s, and yeah, like what was the kind of the point of doing that?
Thank you. The 10 watt was always supposed to be like, from the beginning, it was labeled as limited edition run. It was supposed to only be 2024. The response I got from it, I realized pretty quick, okay, I need to push this into 2025. It bought me some time for some other business endeavors for Marla amps, some expansion stuff like this shop. It let me like not have to go in heavy on a lot of like diversifying my building materials and BOM, like raw materials, to have to backstock.
Yeah.
So I pushed the 10 watt a little bit longer and further, while also listening to what people had to say about it. People were missing that low end control. People were wanting something that broke up later.
Yeah.
So I pumped I did a few things different from it internally. But I really, one thing about Marley amps, and I say this a good bit, is like, unlike a lot of the big brands, I don't have to report to like a board or a kind of financial advisor team.
Yeah.
I report to the customers and what the customers kind of request and ask and say. And so while building this, I knew I wanted to give people an option to cut a lot of that low end out from the 10 watt. And going to 6L6, you're going to have a lot more low end. So I wanted the low pass filter or bass control to have a pretty big sweep on it.
Yeah.
The second thing I wanted to do was to do something that I did in the 20 watt, which was, you kind of touched on this. I want to recreate that sound of like a speaker kind of having a struggling time. So the way that I use a grid leak resistor to push more signal into the power section from the preamp section, it tends to give it that like fuzzier feel as you start to add in more bass.
Yeah.
The notes kind of square off for longer, and it gets choppier, like a kind of like a neck pickup will versus a bridge pickup when it overdrives. Same thing with the amp. More wattage, more volume, more bass if you want it, and yeah, and then being able to rebuild this while still using American transformers, the same orange drop capacitors, kind of like high quality components. Finding a way to get this into all my dealers, it was really important. I wanted the 10 watt was something that was priced to where only I could only sell it direct.
Yeah.
Getting to reshape this into a way that dealers can participate, getting to get to a place where I can spread this out far enough and create the demand for enough of them. It helps me build up enough product at once to where I can save on those raw material costs, and I can pass those savings on to dealers so they can provide this amp as an alternative solution to imported materials or imported goods that are in their shop.